Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. I don't know what time it is for you, but for me, it's nighttime. And I've put off making this video for several months because I keep managing to pull it off somehow. So today, I'll be talking about my, theory ish on Fnaf 2. More so, who's at fault. Because what gets brought up a lot in conversation is who's more at fault in the end of Fnaf 2. Is it Vanessa, Mike, or Abby? The answer is Vanessa, but I'm going to explain how. They're equal. They're all at fault to some degree. More Mike and Vanessa with each other. Vanessa a little bit more so. But, anyways, to cover it, I saw FNAF 2 way back in December. Back when it came, like a couple of days after it came out. I dressed up as Foxy for a little bit. That was me in my own theater. It was a good movie. It had a lot of Easter eggs hidden in it, which I'll also probably try and cover if I can remember them. But the main thing is that at the end of the movie, there was a huge blowout fight. Not fight, like Mike had a big falling out with Vanessa. Which, whatever. And people, I've had arguments with people where they try and say that Mike's at fault, he was overreacting. Really, it's Vanessa. Here's why. I'll always stand for women's rights and wrongs, but that was cringe. But the thing is, she left out a lot of key information that would have been helpful to them not dying or getting maimed or hurt. That thankfully they didn't either way. But leaving out key information like, hey, Mike, in this past year since we've dealt with the original Freddy's location, or what you believe to be the original Freddy's location, I've actually known about a separate, secret, original location for Freddy's that has even more dangerous animatronics, including my dead childhood friend. Oh, and also I have a secret brother who's equally as murderous and is kind of trying to orchestrate all of this. Obviously, she didn't know he was orchestrating all this in the background. I'm being dramatic, but for the most part, you see how she's at fault there. Again, not that Mike is any better. He's a little better. But again, it's only because he's not the one with crazy murder family that you helped with. But he was pushing away Abby whenever it came to any talk about the diner or Freddy's or the animatronics, which he should have been upfront with her to begin with. I know you can only be so upfront with a kid to protect them, but after a certain point, it gets a bit detrimental for all your health, especially if you're dealing with possessed giant animatronics. You know, but when it does come down to it, the reason Vanessa's more at fault is purely because of her lack of sharing this information, and Mike more so for not being willing to accept that information from Abby and Vanessa. If I go, hey, my younger sister, who we've known to communicate with these animatronics, is telling me they're talking to her again, I'm gonna look into that. If I go, hey, there's a girl I'm really into who we have a traumatic experience together after dealing with murder robots and her murderous father. If she tells me, hey, there's actually some Freddy stuff going on, I'm having bad like nightmares like you had about your brother with the ghosts, you're gonna assume, oh shoot, I should go check it out. Mike pushes it away. He's trying to live a normal life, which props to you, whatever. But again, help deal with the situation at hand first. You can live normal life later after. Again, Vanessa, this is information you should have offered from the jump. And I mean the jump. As soon as you got done with the original location, you should be like, oh, hey, Mike, not to overload you, but there is actually an original location with even worse animatronics and also have a secret brother at some point in the 1 year they had between the movies. 1 to 2 years they had between the movies. And with Freddy's getting popular again, like with in universe, you can see them gearing up for the next few installments. And this is what I'm talking about, the Easter eggs. So, hey, if you skipped this far. A couple of Easter eggs I had in the movie that I noticed were, one, obviously, spoiler alert, the puppet was Charlotte, and / Emily, if you want to get, semantics. But, and it's the daughter of Henry. Henry, who was a business practice partner with William, straight up confirm it, even if they didn't. Also, it's a callback to Scream, in case you guys didn't pick up on that, in case my younger viewers didn't pick up on that. That's actually Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard. They both were famous. They got pretty famous beforehand, but they were known to be the killers in Scream. Again, spoiler alert for Scream, but they were the two ghost faces in the original Scream movie. So seeing them together again was kind of nice, even if they're like technically enemies. Henry makes a music box with a puppet, which is again the same music box you play to keep her occupied in the games. Another Easter egg. The actual little ballerina is a mini Ballora that you can play with and find in FNAF 5 sister location. Speaking of sister location, we also see a memory, we also see Circus Baby with Elizabeth eyes. If you've seen that FNAF theory from Game Theory, we see Circus Baby with Elizabeth's eyes in Vanessa's nightmare, which implies a lot of different things, such as, does she secretly have a sister that got scooped into Circus Baby? Was Circus Baby in this universe different? And does she now take the role of Emily, which has been the common theory so far? Who's crying child in this universe? Could it be Gregory? You know? And I think about this stuff. Because again, clearly Cassidy ended up being that blonde kid in the Freddy suit. But we don't know about CC. We don't know where CC is. We know he's pretty integral to the plotline in the main games. We don't know about the movies because, again, books, movies, games, all confirmed to be separate continuities that have same lanes of information, same base elements. I guess another FNAF 4 thing is the fact that Vanessa's nightmare house is the FNAF 4 house. That was her childhood home. Again, the FNAF workshop, her bedroom. It's the layout of all the mini games and stuff of the Afton house that we see, and the bedroom itself is the FNAF 4 bedroom. Again, this movie's like chock full of little Easter eggs and nods to the other older stuff. And again, pretty obviously, again, spoiler alert, end of the movie, they take some two workers who go into the original location after all the destruction and are pulling all the material they can from it, because the company is making a horror-themed park/attraction based off of the murders, because people have gotten into Freddy's again. Which is what happened before Five Nights at Freddy's 3 in the games. So we know we're getting the Springtrap thing. We know we're getting Springtrap because Springtrap appeared in the end scene. So we know we're getting Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Clearly, with the whole fight between Mike and Vanessa, they're going to be at odds at first because Vanessa got possessed by the puppet, aka her best friend Charlotte, which problems already. Because they used to be bound, all the animatronics used to be bound to the location. But again, hey, let's forget that ever. It's part of the lore. Keep saying a lot. Ultimately, it was a great movie. I love the props. I love the visuals. Every single nod to, even stuff I didn't cover yet, or I probably won't cover anyways. The little nods to the older Freddy's, for the fan, for our older fans about. Who've been in the skin in the game for longer, like the masks that we got in real life based off the Freddy masks in the games, the little plushies that we use the prize counter, are actual plushies you can buy in real life for the most part. The boxes, pizza boxes. I did think that the other toys were going to play a bigger part than they did vocally, but I am glad that we got what we did. It does definitely show that the movies and the games and the books are very different continuities, and in my opinion, this is all gearing up for Security Breach, because not that it wasn't popular beforehand, but Security Breach is what definitely got more into the cultural zeitgeist design wise And you can't tell me they're not going to try and do the Pizzaplex. Especially because, again, Vanessa is a character from Security Breach that got pulled and mixed with the Afton sister, Emily. Or Charlotte, I forgot her name. I'm so sorry. In all fairness, though, again, it's still a movie. They do have to make some changes to it. They're not going to be one-to-one with the games, as much as we all would like them to be. I went in like so many circles in this video. I'm so sorry. Ultimately, I feel that Vanessa's more at fault for the fight between her and Mike, but I do really hope they can reconcile and make up, because OTP, that's just me. Even if it wasn't, I still hope they can make up and like work together to defeat the inevitable threat of Vanessa's father and brother, who are still on the run. Her father, who got taken out the location and is clearly getting his ghost powers again to be Springtrap for Fnaf 3, both in the movie and the game. And for her brother, who's inevitably going to become Ennard. Clearly that's what's going to happen, right? I feel like that's what's going to happen. Comment down below and let me know what you think it is. Again, Vanessa shouldn't have kept that information in the dark, because this is like literally life or death stuff that she's kept in the dark for them. Mike shouldn't have been so closed off about hearing anything with Freddy's and trying to push it so far down. They're both flawed protagonists in their own ways, and again, I really hope they can reconcile, fix their issues, or at least enough of their issues to, get back together and be cool again. But again, obviously, first and foremost, they're going to have to depossess Vanessa from Charlotte's control, because she got possessed, which was crazy. Lot sneak of the century. Not really, no, but you know what I'm saying. It was definitely a good twist on what could have happened. I wonder what's going to happen with Mike and Abby. Comment down below any theories, comments, questions, concerns, stuff I might have missed, stuff I might have got wrong. Like and subscribe, please. And, I say if you can, go see the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. If it's already on streaming, buy it on DVD. I'm a lover of physical media. In fact, I left it over on somewhere else, but I actually recently acquired a copy of the original Five Nights at Freddy's movie, Five Nights at Freddy's 1. So I'm enjoying that. I also have Five Nights at Freddy's 2 on PlayStation. Very excited for when Five Nights at Freddy's 3 comes out. Assumedly 27, 28. But, we'll see. All right. See you later.